Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup. This is the final week for solo qualifiers, so if you're trying to make your way to New York City to punch that ticket, now's the time to do it. If you miss out, that'll be that. Coming up next, we have Asia and Oceania replays. Those regions have already played out, but before we get to that, I asked a question when I was with Sundown casting the end of Europe, and that was where your favorite drop spot was. And we are lucky enough, because of the magic of Twitter and the production team who is always top-notch, we had a little social while I want to see what everybody said about everything. I just want to put this out there immediately. My boy Till Truth agreeing that Viking Village up top, one of the best in the game. Disco, Frosty Dusty, Jung Junction when running solos. Unless it's a hot spot, dropping factories by Flush. Racetrack, Lazy Lagoon or the Block. The Block, honestly, we're seeing that more and more. A lot of players are picking that up. Mega Mall, surprising to me, one of the biggest landing zones on the map right now. We've seen it time and time again being constantly swamped with players. Paradise Palms, Salty Springs again. Pressure Plant, and I believe that is the very southeast corner of the map. Some players call it Westworld. There's all sorts of names for these locations where if they don't have a POI name on them. It's kind of interesting to see how creative people can get. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm always curious where people are dropping as hard as I can to avoid any of those spots. Thanks for telling me where to not go. But I do want to see where Asia and Oceania go, and in order to do that, in order to look at those replays and get a play-by-play of everything happening, I need some players to give me some insight. And those players, in this case, would be Monster D-Face and Zeke.
Thank you,
Woo!
Dr. Lupo. Back
Monster.
at it again, Zeke.
Are you ready?
Ready to rock it.
I believe you are ready. That's why you gave me the fist bump and not Courage JD. Fortnite fam, we hope you guys are ready because it is finals day. We're hopping into some replays from Oceania that happened this morning. We want to get these guys up to speed, have them, share their moment because them qualifying was a big deal. Yeah, absolutely. So let's get ready to hop into these games together. Is there anything you're excited about? You looking forward to, Monster?
I mean, I'm looking forward to just watching all these games unfold. I follow like every competitive player on social media, so to wake up to my peers, kind of happy that they pushed through, or unfortunately, sometimes, you get the other tail end of that, see their errors where things kind of didn't fall in line for them. Because at the end of the day, no performance is perfect. And when you kind of go back and really look at it, a lot of times you spot your own errors. So it's kind of crazy how much Fortnite has developed and evolved and how much more room for perfection there is in this game.
For sure, man. I mean, we can always be getting better, not only in Fortnite, but as humans. And of course, at our ability to eat chicken parmesan, because I will never be able to eat it as incredibly as Courage JD can. 44 players currently.
Graciously.
Yeah, he's voracious with the food. 44 players here in Storm Circle 5. We see this all the time, right, Monster? That was a great pickup of Magsy there in midair. But we see this all the time. Finals day is very different than Saturday's qualification rounds, right? Saturday's semifinals are typically very elimination heavy. Finals, they know what's at stake. They know they have to play conservative, play for points, play for placements, and that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah, it definitely goes without saying that these last days when everything's on the line, there's just so much more pressure on you to perform that you are going to be more hesitant. But not only that, you have to respect people that are able to make it through to the top 0.01% Sunday for qualification, because at the end of the day, look at how many players don't make it to Sunday. Like literally, it's not easy to crack out 30, 50 points, 60 points if you're on EU at times just to make it through. Like the competition is that stiff. So there's a lot right down the line. If you make it through to Sunday, you got to give yourself a pat in the back, regardless of how you do it, because it's no easy feat. And if someone makes it look easy, just understand that guy is miles ahead of the competition.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even if you don't qualify, right, there's always going to be events going forward in the future. There's always another opportunity. Just because you didn't make it, it does not mean that it's the end of your Fortnite journey or your Fortnite career, right?
I mean, just like everything in life, it takes a lot of preparation, consistency, but more importantly, one of the factors people don't take for granted is it's the luck back there. You also still need things to click, and things are clicking right here. Scopes Rebel goes down, nice little shot from Rona Season. What we saw did pull through.
Yeah, that's right. Rona, aka Sawsman, taking that #1 spot over in OCE. He's already on 4 eliminations, so this is probably his maybe second game, right? Because he has 10 points here, and we're not even top 5, has the 4 eliminations. and he's already, so his game before must have just been his initial game for 6 points total. And now we're hopping in. How are things going to unfold for him? He just hit top 25, so first round of placement points coming out. Don't forget, guys, 15, 5, Victory Royale. Those are every single threshold, and every elim is a point. So already at 7, I don't know how to do math, just from elims and placement.
Yeah, and if you're new to competitive Fortnite, this is what it looks like at the highest levels of competition when there is money and prize on the line. Not only that, the respect of your peers. People are insane at this game. You might not see glider redeploy every day in your day-to-day games, but here in the upper levels of competition, they use these kind of items to maximum efficiency, to save materials. So top-tier competitive Fortnite is a very interesting thing to watch and kind of digest. And just kind of from sticking around and studying these guys' play, you can level up your own game.
Especially like the minor differences between different people's play, right? Like, you as a player, you might say, I love glider redeploy, and that is my go-to item.
Yep.
For me, I might say, look, I value the shadow bombs more because it just lends itself to my playstyle and the things I'm looking to do. You know, and especially as Fortnite continues to evolve, new patches come out, new weapons, items, utility, all that. Like, it's just an ever-changing game. To see these guys adapt and just everything in their hands is lethal. It's like, gray AR, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to find 10 elims. Gray tech, doesn't matter, 10 elims.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
They make it look so good. Now take a look at Rona, who somehow manages to find some high ground off that shadow bomb, doing a really good job at climbing up here. Makes the edit one step ahead of unknown space there. Kind of steps out before his counterplay can even happen. Now he is set up. He has a setup shop right here. Who's at the ultimate top? It's Alfie. Alfie firing down, and someone else is just above him. You can see there, it's Brave. I will not lose. He's got the ultimate high here. Alfie says, you know what? I want no part of that. He is coming down into Rona. Let's see what Rona's going to do with these final moments here. He steps into another player's box. 120. Such a tight crosshair to hit these shots. You got to respect the aim here and the consistency, Zeke.
This is, I mean, this is what separates Sazman from the rest, right? There's so much confidence behind his play, and this is what I love talking about because that's what resonates with me, is how confident you are in the moment of things happening, right? Just look at this, not building. He has 13 builds, so it's not much, but he doesn't need to build. He knows what's going on. He's dictating the tempo of this game, right? Right now, Sazman is on that lowest level. Bray is up above. And now, I mean, Sazman's got 10 elims, all right? This is huge. He's going to try and go against Bray. Now, Bray does have more materials, 35 to 2, but now they're saying, you know, let's go toe-to-toe. Can Sazman line up the shot? He actually drops down below Monster. This engagement didn't even pan out. Oh.
Is he going to be able to get him? Is he going to be able to break these builds and bring him down to him? You saw Rona Season was just trying to stick it all the way through. And Rona Season is Sazman, guys. For those of you guys just tuned in, so these final moments are everything. He's looking to get these low ground peaks. He's got the storm in his favor. He's still tracking with it. And he hits every shot, every single peak, every moment, every pixel goes to Rona.
And that's what I kind of talked about, dictating the tempo, right? It was Rona who was telling everyone else in the lobby, this is what we're doing now. Because you saw the player above. They had health advantage. They had shields. Sazman didn't. He was down to, what, like 50 HP and then pops the slurp. And then that other player was so afraid to fire back because he was like, look, this guy's going to crack me in the face every single time. You can just tell by the way he's moving. He's confident. He sees that win.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, it's so funny that even with the high ground, sometimes you can just tell a good, like, low ground warrior will poise up in such a way that you're like, dude, if I, like, look over, like, he's going to shoot me. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you just know. So in those final moments, you kind of just knew, man, he was going to get shot. And, you know, hate to see it not be able to clutch up. But on to the next, guys, is O-R-N-Z-Y. Orenzy.
I think that's making me, like, sending me back into my previous Fortnite games. Where it's
right?
like, I want to fight a guy, and I'm like, this guy's crazy. Like, why would he do this?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get this guy. And then he just completely demolishes me. I'm like, he is crazy good at Fortnite. That's what was going on. Now look at this, Orenzy here.
Got two
Great pickup. My goodness, 3 elims outside of top 25. He's got to be a little bit careful here of how he navigates. Again, on the right side of your screen there, you see Sazman, again, the person who qualified from OCE. His name currently is Rona Season, aka Sazman, just to make sure you know. But look at this loadout, dude.
It's looking good. One of the underrated things about the minigun is the extreme high fire rate. It might actually have the highest fire rate in the game when it's fully cooked, and because of that, it can really punch through builds, even if you're trying to stay on defense. So if you guys haven't given up the minigun a swirl, I should say, try and pressure someone down when they're in the box with it, and let me know if you pierce through the turbo build, if you get some shots. But don't forget, guys, we're tuning in straight with the OCE games here, which already kind of developed over the evening here at the Fortnite World Cup. Players have already punched their ticket to New York City. This is the last solo opportunity. Next week will be duos, but today it's all about the solo action. You can find yourself in the Big Apple.
Big Apple for a slice of pizza, like Golden Boy likes to say. I don't know why I like